Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Madras Arsenal. Today, we are going to be analyzing a historical photograph, and the one that we are going to be analyzing today is the 1968 photo of the American astronaut on the moon, also known as the Man on the Moon. So, if you have not clicked subscribe, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting the channel through Patreon or joining the channel to become a member of our history or our military history community. So, back to the photo. As we can see, we have the astronaut in his astronaut suit. You can actually see the reflection of the photographer, which in this case would have been Neil Armstrong, taking the photograph. It's in a reflection of his visor. The astronaut that we're looking at here is Buzz Aldrin, and this was taken, I believe, on the 20th or 21st of July in 1968. Really neat. You can see the moon dust, the individual footprints down to the left-hand corner of the photograph from their moon boot, or from their actual spacesuit boots. Towards the right, you can actually see the gold foil wrapping that was around part of the lunar module, as they had it wrapped in gold because it was highly reflective, and it was also lightweight. What's also interesting is in the horizon, it's just pitch black, which kind of signifies the vastness of space and the vacuum of space. It's kind of interesting to note on his spacesuit, the American flag, which would have been on his left shoulder. Of course, he has his oxygen pack that he's wearing. He's got his assortment of hoses and whatnot. But you can actually see what's also kind of interesting is the moon dust that's kind of collected in the creases around his boots, as well as the bottom of the suit legs. So that's kind of a pretty interesting piece. In addition to this, we're going to kind of look at another photograph, and it's actually another Apollo 11 photograph, and it's got an astronaut looking at the American flag. And from what I've read and from what I've researched is the American flag, obviously it's not going to wave because space is a vacuum, but the flag probably most likely nowadays is completely bleached and possibly even disintegrated or highly tattered from the constant radiation and the sunlight beating down on it. So it'd be interesting to, in the future, maybe see a couple of photographs of this site. But now, towards a military history aspect, Werner von Braun, who was actually a top German rocket scientist who was captured by the Americans at the towards the end of the war during Operation Paperclip. That was an operation where we went and captured a number of top-level German scientists. But anyway, he was brought back to the United States and wound up being the father of NASA, which is pretty interesting. A lot of people think that his actions were downplayed by the Americans in order to get him over here and to be accepted in the public light. I think some research has come out where he may have known about the labor that was going on, which would have been slave labor from the Holocaust. I really haven't researched as much. I'm going to dive into that and I present a video on Operation Paperclip. My assumption is that someone at his level probably would have most likely known where the labor force was coming from that was making the rockets, and these rockets that they were making were being utilized to strike Great Britain and things like that. So it was causing civilian casualties. But anyway, back to these photos. We brought him over here, and he spearheaded NASA as well as the U.S. Army's rocket program, which I think took place down in Huntsville, Alabama. And if I'm not mistaken, they have a really nice rocket museum there to this day. And it's definitely worth a visit if you're in that area. I've not been there yet, but maybe one day I will. So that is the analyzation of this photograph. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be doing some more of these, and it'll be various topics throughout history. We'll bounce from the Civil War to sketches from the American Revolution up to Vietnam pictures. We're just gonna kind of hop all over, and it'll all be military history related. But not a whole lot of people really understand the historic military history aspect of NASA and how it came to be. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy some of these videos coming up here in the future, especially Operation Paperclip. That was really, really interesting. So stay tuned for those. Like I said, click the subscribe button, hit the share button, let your friends know about the channel. And also, if you want to support it, you can support it by joining the channel, or you can support it on Patreon. So make sure you do that. Make sure you spread the word, and I will see you guys in the next video.